Welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm Sean Anderson, your host, and on this week's edition, we're talking to Pohai boys soccer coach Ben Steichen. Coach Steichen, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Soccer season about halfway through, getting into district play now. You find your team at 3-3. Took third at the Stillwater Cup. And tell us, for one, can you give us a recap up to now?
Yeah, we started off the season, two road games, Sky took and Guthrie. Went to shootout in both of those, lost our first one, played extremely well. And we just came up short on those, and that's the nature of our game. Guthrie, was a little bit smaller of a field. We had to deal with some new situations, and it really taught us a little bit more. And we got through, got the monkey off our back for a first win and winning in shootout. Then we're getting a lot of time off, so we've had a lot of practice time, and we went into the Stillwater Cup, and we won our first game against Sand Springs 3-1. Played well there and found some goals. Went to the semis against Stillwater themselves, who's a really talented team, best team we've faced so far, and we got some experience for our guys. When some things started kind of going wrong for us, we didn't play as well as we had previously. So we learned a little bit from it, came back later on that night, played an extremely late game for the third place game just because of the way the schedule worked out, and beat Enid 1-0 with a goal in the last 5 minutes. So it was really exciting for us. We played as strong as we could, being as tired as we were, finishing off the game probably about 11 o'clock at night. It was really a great experience for our guys. They enjoyed it a lot, and they learned a lot.
Yeah.
And then we went last week to Bartlesville and really made some uncharacteristic mistakes that really, a good team like Bartlesville,
They'll capitalize on that.
Yeah,
away.
They definitely did.
Yeah.
So we finished off and lost to Bartlesville last week in our first district match. So we're 0-1 in district, but 3-3 overall. Still have 7 more matches to really look forward to in the season. We're excited about.
Well, there is a home soccer match set for the 14th. Tell us about this matchup on the 14th here in Ponca City.
It's going to be homecoming for us. It'll be against Bixby, another team really finding an identity with how they're going through. They've had some ups and some downs. Been a talented program in the last couple of years. But giving us our opportunity for our first home match of the season, and then also those, celebrating the fact that we're coming home for it is always going to be a fun experience. We're really looking forward to really get the chance to show up at home.
Yeah, homecoming. And how important for your team to see that support of the hometown crowd? It is important because you don't get that a lot on the road. You're out playing all of these matches on the road.
Oh yeah, I mean our away support's been fantastic. Parents and families they're always great, and some friends that come along the way, depending on how close it is. But when you get home and you have the girls' parents and the guys' parents there for both games, and then you have their classmates there, it makes it feel that much better that way. Every time something goes right, they're behind you. Hey, they're fighting right there with you when something doesn't go right, and so it's always extremely important for whatever sport that you're in, especially including for us. It always gets to be a lot of fun being at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you have some younger players that have really stepped up into varsity positions, and you don't take that lightly. I mean, they earn their way into those positions, and you have some younger players that are really showing some real promise. Can you highlight some of those for us?
Yeah, I mean, we always know what we're going to get from our seniors. Our seniors are a fantastic group of seniors this year, but the younger players, we had some spots that opened up. So, I mean, we've got a couple of defenders that have really started to fill in the roles, and rotate and be those role players that we need, and even full-time players. Josh Fairbanks and Jacob Mabry, both sophomores. As you go through, Kelby Cross, a junior, starting to step into these roles that they've never gotten to play. We played with the rotation. Now, one's not as much of a young player, but he hasn't had the experience. One of our seniors in goalkeeper, Mitch Neeson, has played some great minutes for us there, along with splitting time with Derek Jernigan, another sophomore, and they've been fantastic. I mean, they've all been taking their lumps and learning through mistakes, but they're starting to come through it a little bit more. We've added a freshman into the mix in the midfield, Christian Martinez, and even Kason Terrazas has played a lot more, both freshmen, but they're really getting the opportunity to see these, and the guys have accepted them really well. They've made their mistakes, like I've said, but in the long run, we feel like this is going to help us later on down the road in the season when we're in those games that we really, really need and are really in.
Yeah, well, now that you're into district play, so what team is it that you really are watching out for? What's the big team in the district?
Stillwater,
Stillwater?
by far. We faced them once. We got guys that have. We got one that has played alongside of them on a club team, and then also, these guys have seen each other for 4 years.
Yeah.
Especially the seniors, and we know they're good. We know that they have a lot of talent, a lot of speed, but it's one of those that we feel like when we're doing what these guys have been coached to do and what they're capable of doing, that we can compete with them, that we can change things around. I mean, we got blown out in the first game. I mean, there's no way around it, and with what we know about them, we know what we can do, we feel like still they are beatable. We feel like we can compete with them. And that's what we're really working for. And we're going to get the opportunity to kind of prepare. We actually play them on Friday night at their place again. We're going to get the chance to prepare tomorrow night in Muskogee to really kind of get things going again and really set the stage for us.
Now, it seems like a pretty obvious question. How important is a youth soccer program in a community for developing that high school program years later? I'm sure you see there's a very active youth soccer program around here, and those players are coming up, and a lot of them are sticking around. But you see a community like Stillwater with a powerhouse soccer team and a very active soccer youth program. How important is that?
It's always really important. I mean, when you have a lower programs, no matter the age groups or anything like that, you're seeing a lot of different experiences. When they get to play in the top level instead of just playing in town, a lot of times that's now expands past your borders, and you start to see, okay, these are the things that we're going to come up and face. We may not be the biggest, we may not be the fastest, we may not be the most technical, but when we start combining all these three traits and start working on getting better at all of them, it makes the later on programs a lot easier to deal with. I mean, when they come in and they have technical abilities that we don't have to coach, when they come in and we don't have to do as much tactically except for just kind of move around a little bit, it makes it a lot easier. So, I mean, these teams, especially Stillwater's got a group that's really been playing together, and that's part of the reason that they get to be as good as they are. They're only throwing half their team is playing for their upper division, the other half is playing for their lower division, but then when you combine them, they're still seeing these same things. So we're always trying to compete and get there, within our school district, and then promoting it around town. And we got a lot of kids that are playing right now, and we hope that continues and hopes that builds with the coaching that's around Ponca.
Absolutely. Coach Ben Steichen, the head coach for the Ponca City High School boys soccer team, and your opportunity to support the boys soccer team coming up. It's homecoming on April 14th. And Coach, if you could give us the who, what, when, and where.
Okay, April 14th, we'll start the games at 3:30. We'll have JV girls, then JV boys, then the varsity girls at 6 o'clock. We're going to be playing Bixby. Boys will play at 8 o'clock. Really should be an exciting matchup for us on both sides, girls and boys. And we could use all the support we can get starting at 3:30 and running all the way through.
All right, absolutely. Coach Ben Steichen, thank you so much for being our guest on
Thank you for
Coach's
having me.
Corner, and we'll look forward to having Coach Steichen back on the show as we move forward throughout the season. Middle of the season now into district play, and it's going to start getting really exciting. So that is going to do it for this week's edition of Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Thank you for watching.